A very interesting recent report on Talk News talked about how General Motors are losing United States electric vehicle customers to competitors. Here is what they had to say. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans. I'm coming to you here from Melbourne, Australia. Welcome to all you new subscribers. Welcome back to everyone else. Great to have you. Thank you to our Patreon supporters who have basically made this channel possible. I'll put a link in the description below to our Patreon page. General Motors, they've had a tough time of it. And as you probably know, if you've been watching my channel for a while now, I do actually own General Motors stock. One of the key reasons, there's a lot of negativity surrounding General Motors right now. But the reality is, they are building battery factories. And even though they only delivered 26 electric cars in the US in the fourth quarter of 2021, which was, something that Elon pointed out could be improved upon. I'll put a link in the description below to the video I made about that. It was pretty funny, to be honest. It was funny to the point of being, well, horrendous. Let's face the facts. That said, I believe that will be the lowest point in General Motors history. And it's only going to go up from here. Because, yes, even though GM do have a long and tough road ahead of them, I do think that eventually they'll get there. They're building battery factories. They're building electric car factories as well. However, in the meantime, they are going to go through a very difficult period because it is true that they are losing customers to Tesla, potentially to Ford, Mustang Mach-E, potentially to other car brands, and that will probably accelerate this year. 2 years after General Motors declared that its all-electric future was now, the company is losing critical American market customers to competitors. Here's why an important part of General Motors' customer base is leaving for other brands, say Talk News. General Motors is saying all the right things, providing frequent updates on its mega plans for future EVs, revealing neat images and renderings of future trucks and luxury cars for the American market that will be driven exclusively by electricity. Mary Barra is doing her best to sell us on this future. What GM isn't doing though right now is actually delivering affordable EVs to consumers in America. Chevrolet, GM's value brand, has no affordable EVs on the market in the US now, and no firm timeline for their return. Talk News said that they confirmed this fact this week directly with a General Motors spokesperson who was authorized to make statements to the media. GM has lost its affordable electric vehicle sales lead. The Chevrolet Bolt was by far the sales leader in affordable battery electric vehicles only 1 year ago, with dealers having ample inventory, many having EV experts on staff, and General Motors providing steep discounts on the Bolt. The Bolt was easy to call the best battery electric vehicle in terms of value in the United States. Around midsummer, Chevy then added its fantastic Bolt EUV, Talk News' favorite affordable electric vehicle in 2021. Everything was looking up. And then Bolts started to catch fire. Not many Bolts though, I should add, but enough that General Motors decided to recall every vehicle produced and also pull the Bolt and the Bolt EUV off the new car market. The recall was called a slow motion catastrophe by respected EV writer and advocate John Volker in Car and Driver. GM added dire warnings about how to park, where to park, how to charge, and gave owners fits with range-reducing mandates that made the Bolt very hard to live with. To try to appease Bolt owners, GM finally started to offer generous buybacks. GM is effectively going backwards with EV deliveries, while not delivering new affordable EVs, and at the same time, taking ones it already sold out of the marketplace. GM's net EV deliveries are now negative, which is crazy considering GM told the world its all-electric future was now 2 years ago. Former Bolt owners are reporting new purchases from other brands. Across social media, Bolt owners are posting up images showing themselves with the new EVs that they bought after turning in Bolts to GM via its recall buyback program, trading them in at dealers or selling them to be rid of their problem. GM's battery replacement program has been going on now for months, and there is no definitive timeline in sight. This does remind me of the original electric car that GM ended up buying back and then crushing and getting rid of. It's not quite the same, but it does have parallels to that disastrous episode. Now, Talk News has scanned a handful of popular electrified vehicle forums on social media to see which new electric vehicle models former Bolt owners had purchased instead. What they found was remarkable. Nearly every forum they looked at had examples of former Bolt owners posting up stories about how they've abandoned the model and worse, the brand in many cases. The posts listed included images of new vehicles that owners took home in most cases. Here's a selection of those posts, edited for brevity. Chevy Bolt owners turned to Toyota. I'm so excited to be joining the RAV4 Prime family today from sunny California. Blah, 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 blah. Bolt owners turned to Kia. Goodbye to our 2021 Bolt. Sold it and replaced it with a 2022 Kia Niro. The buyback process was a nightmare, so we sold it to save time. We finally have a buyback for our Chevy Bolt, paid $5,000 for driving a car for 5 years. Personally, Kia's EV6 looks good in the short term. No more Chevy Bolt recall fiasco. Hello to my new 2022 Kia EV6 GT line. Chevy Bolt owners turned to Hyundai. After 3 years owning a Chevy Bolt, we sold it back to General Motors. Bought a Hyundai Ioniq 5 SE off the dealer's lot in California. Our Chevy Bolt was written off as a lemon. We're thrilled to have found a new Hyundai Ioniq 5. The market adjustment from the dealer was under $1,000. Chevy Bolt owners turned to Ford. Went from a Bolt to a 2022 Bolt EUV. After a few days of driving the EUV, it was recalled. We bought a Ford Mustang Mach-E. GM has lost this brand loyal family. We purchased a Ford Mustang Mach-E today. Previously had a Chevrolet Bolt. Ordering a Mustang Mach-E Premium as soon as the repurchase of my Bolt Chevy goes through. Owned a Chevy Bolt for nearly 5 years and waiting on a buyback from GM. I'm seriously considering the Ford Mustang Mach-E. I am getting my Chevy Bolt. Bought back because I do not like burning things down. Looking at the Ford Mustang Mach-E, you can see this is coming from numerous buyers all considering going from GM to Ford. Here's some other owners turning to Volkswagen. Just bought the ID4. By the way, it's a bit of a bargain right now in America considering it still qualifies for the tax incentive. Definitely worth considering the ID4. Just bought the ID4, had a Bolt EUV launch edition reservation but gave it up. My Bolt was bought back by GM and needed a car quick. Didn't realize how much we would like this Volkswagen. Sold my Chevy Bolt back to GM this week. I love that car and it will be missed. Bought a Volkswagen ID4. Husband drives a Tesla. Now, on this particular article, there was no comments about GM owners, Bolt owners buying Teslas. But I think it's fair to say that that would have happened, seeing as Tesla vehicles represent 70% of all electric vehicles sold in the United States. As you can see, this fiasco has led to conquest sales by other brands. The same thing has happened to Ford. When they were telling potential Mustang Mach-E buyers that rather than try to argue with dealers who wanted to charge $10,000 or $15,000 more than the MSRP, that they should just go buy a Tesla. So GM is not the only company this is happening to. As you can see though, the General Motors Bolt recall has driven loyal, once happy Chevy owners to new brands who have affordable EVs that they can deliver now. These migrations of happy owners from one brand to a new one are called conquest sales by automakers, and they are highly sought after. With no new affordable General Motors model coming in, well, anytime soon, let's be honest. Despite what General Motors say, it's not happening next week, probably not next year either. What does this mean? This is going to continue happening. Remember, the same thing is happening in China. But I think even quicker in China than what's happening anywhere else in the world. Why is that? Just look at the numbers. Tiny minuscule of legacy auto, including General Motors vehicles, sold in China are electric. It's less than 3%. However, when it comes to Chinese brand vehicles, as in Chinese companies such as SAIC, JAC, XPeng, Neo, Leap Motors, all the rest of them, well, 30% of all Chinese vehicles, Chinese branded vehicles sold in China are EVs. So you can see, whilst the EV market has exploded in China, the sales of legacy auto vehicles have contracted. So clearly that is the best example of where these conquest sales are going. They're actually going from legacy auto. Companies like GM, companies like Toyota, companies like Hyundai even are losing massive market share in China as well. And they're moving to Chinese branded companies. That's happening a lot quicker than what anyone realizes because, to be honest, the media is focused almost entirely on the Western countries. They're really ignoring what's happening in China. They're focusing on North America. But there's a lot more going on just outside of North America. And this example here that I provided you with is just a small sample of what's really going on all over the world right now. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comment section below what you think will happen in the global car market over the next decade or by 2030. I think there's going to be enormous disruption. It's going to be really fun to watch, to be honest, really interesting to watch anyway. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on the next one. Bye-bye.